what's now? It's mixed with what?
It's mixed field in the A, B, and D.
Okay.
So this is an AB patient, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's an AB positive patient. So this is your indication that the patient was probably transfused with O negative. Okay. So you have an O negative, you'll get mixed field in all three of them. All right. So, and then the interpretation for this, you won't get it for the ABO, and you won't get it for the RH either. So you'll get a QM, okay, for both of them. But it will cross over. But when it crosses over, your interpretation will not be there, okay? So you would have to put your own interpretation in.
Okay.
And I wanted it set up that way because I want the text to be sure when they get mixed field over here that they know the reason why. And once you have that reason why, or even if it's Rulo, document BBC1 and put the reasoning behind it.
Okay.
Okay?
So if we get the mixed field in our three, we need to repeat it.
You gotta figure out why.
So we just kind of do a little background.
So before you
checks.
repeat it, first thing I would do is check to see if the patient has been transfused with maybe 2 or 3 or an O-neg unit recently. That'll be your first thing to check and see.
Okay.
If that is the case, then that's your justification to go ahead and allow it to cross over, and you just have to put your own interpretation in, and you will put AB pause in there, but you're gonna have to override it all the way through. The patient was not transfused, okay? Then if you wanna do it in a tube, I would prefer to do it in a tube and not repeat it in a gel, because you're gonna get the same results in the gel from here in manual gel. If you have mixed field in the tube, then in that case, you would call the nurse and say, hey, was this patient transfused somewhere else recently? Patient could have been transfused somewhere else recently. And if that is the case, get the hospital and get the dates if possible. Call that hospital, see the last transfusion date of the patient. If the patient was transfused with out of type units, that's still your justification that this patient is this due to being transfused at Grady Hospital on this day, received O-neg units.
Yes.
I know it's a lot, but that's just kind of the nature of the department itself. You know, you have to kind of do those justifications and investigations when you have ABO discrepancies like that to try to solve. And sometimes it could be due to Rulo. You can have Rulo in your forward sometimes as well as your reverse too. Okay. And if, you know, you could have a positive ABO discrepancy due to a cold. You can get ABO discrepancies when you have an A positive patient in the forward and it looks like an O in the reverse. It'll cross over on here, but it'll give you a QA is what it's going to do. It won't be able to interpret it, even though it has numerical values in it. So it's the same difference as you would do with a mixed field. You'll try to investigate and figure out why the patient has an ABO discrepancy. If the patient is a bone marrow patient, call the floor, see if the patient was recently transfused somewhere else, check the Rulo, incubated 15 minutes at 37 degrees, all of those things to try to correct it. Now, I wouldn't accept it and result it until you have solved the ABO discrepancy. And then once you're able to justify it and resolve it, and then you go in here and you can correct it and resolve it, yes.